Hi everyone, welcome to today's Alive Friday. So today I am answering two questions from our lovely group members. So the first one is, what are the basic things a starting VA must have or should learn? The second one is how to drive leads and build an email list. So the first one, what are the basic things they must have or should learn? So in terms of equipment, I think I covered this last week. So just a recap is the best spec laptop that you can afford, or the laptop that's going to suit the requirements of what you need it to be able to do. So if you're going to do lots of graphics and use the creative suite, then you're going to have a high-spec laptop that can handle that. If you're going to be a bookkeeper, then you might not need such a high-spec laptop because you're just going to be using Excel and online accounting software. So yeah, depending on what type of work you're doing, plus trying to get actually spending money on a laptop you won't regret. So obviously that's the first thing. Second thing is you definitely need internet, obviously, and high-speed internet wherever you can. So I have a second screen, I have a keyboard and mouse, and I have a headset, plus just my headphones that I use or got with my phone, so that you can do Zoom calls. So that's your basic equipment setup. In terms of other things that you would need to learn and have is that you need to have some way of tracking the finances in your business. So starting out, that could just be a spreadsheet, making sure that you track all your revenue and all your expenses. You'll need to have Chrome is what I recommend having a Chrome profile set up for each client that you do work for, plus one for yourself and your internal stuff. You'll need a time tracking tool. So I use Harvest, but there's Toggle, AdNinja, those tools that can track your time, because that's super important. You want to make sure that you're not doing work for free and that you are tracking your time for your clients. You'll need some sort of email account. So I recommend, and it depends if you need the Microsoft Office suite or not. As a VA, you'll definitely have to have the Microsoft Office suite. So that is Word, Excel, PowerPoint, etc., because much of the work that you'll do is likely to be in those programs. So if you already have access to the Microsoft suite, then you might want to just go with a G Suite account, which then you can use your domain name and get an email address that you can use, and just use Gmail and use Google Drive for your file storage. However, if you're really needing the Microsoft Office suite, I recommend looking at getting an Office 365 account so that you can have access to Word, Excel, PowerPoint, etc. And you can also then have your domain name as your email address. Hi, whoever's watching. Now, I'm so sorry, but I'm using a tool called Be Live, and I can see comments, but it just says Facebook user, and I can't see who you are. So I would love it if you are watching live, let me know who you are in the comments, and then I can say hi to you specifically. Getting the Office 365 or G Suite is super important, because then you can have your email and you can have file storage, etc. So that's sort of the base things that you need. Then you're going to have to think about task management. So it could be using something like Trello or Airtable. They're both free, or they have free options, so that you can keep a track of all the tasks that you need to complete for clients. It's pretty easy to start when you have one client to, keep a track of everything in your head. However, you're going to start, increasing your client base and have, oh, hi, Kate, how are you? You're going to increase and have a larger client base over time. And so you want to get into a really good practice of having a task management system that you're using. So getting something like Trello as a starting point, so that you can then get into the practice and into that like zone of doing that once you get more and more clients. To start with, just send in a Word invoice. They've got invoice templates online and in Word. Just make sure that you're actually being compliant in your country that you're working from. So make sure that your invoice has the things on it that the tax department requires. So if you're in New Zealand, you don't want to use a US template. You have to actually adapt that and vice versa. So my advice always to new VAs is to just make it super easy, super cheap, low cost to begin with. Oh, you brought forward your business launch. Awesome. Next week. Yeah. So when you're starting out, like just do something simple, quick, easy, low cost to get started, because you can always improve those things over time. And I often talk about, everyone trying to get everything perfect and everything set up and having all your social media accounts and your website and your business cards and everything all done, and spending all of this upfront money and spending time on those things, when actually you just want to do the simple basics just to get your first client and start to bring in that revenue. Otherwise, you're just delaying bringing in a client, and you're spending money that you don't need to spend. So over time, you can improve things, but just try and get the basics together to begin with. So you'll need to get some sort of proposal, terms of engagement, like templated and written. And if you're looking for a template to get started in the members club, it's free for 7 days. So jump in and you can grab the template of the exact terms of engagement that I use in my business and I've developed over the last 7 years. So that's in there, available. So jump in and grab that, because you're going to need to get the terms of engagement to start with. I really, really highly recommend that you don't start any work until you have that document signed by your client. And then it will just, stop all sorts of issues down the track or miscommunications. Get a Zoom account, get a Skype account, have a Google account so that you can use Google Hangouts. And so what that means is that when you need to talk to a potential client or a client, you've already got any of the options in terms of doing video calls that they might be using, so that you're not trying to force them to use what you use. So I have all of those accounts. They're all free, and then whatever a client needs or they already use, then I just pop into that one. So yes, definitely some video call software. And you'll need a mobile phone, because I highly recommend using WhatsApp, Voxer, or Viber, so that you can quickly message your clients back and forwards. You might want to think about having a separate phone, but potentially for business. Otherwise, have a think about if you use your phone, your personal phone, then just make sure that you're setting up those expectations with clients that, if they're you're more than happy for them to message you on WhatsApp after hours. It's just that you won't look at the messages or deal with anything until in the morning, or whatever your work times are. So getting one of those good communication tools on your phone that you can then start working with your clients on, and using the voice messaging option on those tools is super, super important. Now, the other key one, and this is the first one that you should definitely get, is LastPass, or one of the other ones. There's plenty of them out there. Get a really, really reputable one. It's a password vault, and it has all of the passwords that I have all in there, plus all of our client passwords. And then clients, if security is a real issue for them and they want to have things really locked down, then having a LastPass account, they can have a LastPass account too, and they can be sharing their LastPass account, not their account, but their passwords inside their account through to you and your LastPass, and they can do it anonymously, so that you actually can't see what the password is, but you can use the password. So having LastPass is a really good way to if that's a bit of a barrier for someone that you might be talking to about, like, well, how do I give you the access? I don't want to give you my password. You can say that if you set up LastPass and you have LastPass and they have LastPass, then they can share those passwords anonymously. So that can get rid of that that barrier. So that's pretty much the things that you'll need to get started. The other thing, one more thing, is like your first website should be your LinkedIn profile. Don't go down the path of creating this whole like amazing website if you haven't got any clients yet. Just get a LinkedIn profile and use that as your LinkedIn, as your like website first until you get a few clients in, and then you can spend the time and the money doing a website. The thing with a website is that it's super important for any business to have a website. However, don't do it too soon, because having a website, you're not going to rank highly for the keywords virtual assistant in your country straight away. It's going to take time. So it's not like putting up a website means that you're going to have people find you organically via Google. And so if really a website in the beginning for you is somewhere that you can direct people to have a look at or find out more, then just use your LinkedIn profile as that place to direct people to find out more, because you can have all of your experience, you can have everything that you would normally have on your website can be on your LinkedIn profile. What your specialty services are, what your background is, all of your experience, all of your achievements, certifications, awards, etc. All of that can be in your LinkedIn profile. So focus your energy and attention on your LinkedIn profile first. Get some clients and then work on a website. Otherwise, you're just delaying when you're actually going to launch and start finding clients. So that is pretty much all of the things that I would recommend just to get started. And then obviously you can add things over time. There might be something, if you choose a specialty service, there might be something that you need to get that allows you to deliver that specialty service. But yeah, that's pretty much it to get started. Obviously a name and a logo to get started, just a quick, easy something logo just to get started, because you can always improve on that later. But yeah, that's pretty much what you need to get started. Just your credibility can come from your LinkedIn profile rather than anything else fancy. So second question, and hopefully that has answered everything that you were looking for who had asked that question. So the next one is how to drive leads and build an email list. I don't think anyone likes my advice on how to find leads because it's not easy and it's not quick and it's not fun. However, it really, really is the way that I have found clients over the last 7 years, and now we have, and this is honest truth, we have at least one lead come in every single day. Now, not all of them are suitable for us, and not all of them come to fruition in terms of an actual client. However, we don't need to go out searching for those clients anymore. And the way that we've done that is built our reputation in our local area. And I talk about this quite often too, that how you find clients if you're in non-Western countries is completely different to how you find clients in Western countries. So where the wages are higher in typically Western countries, you are highly likely to find clients in your local area or in your country. And that is about building yourself a reputation, specializing in something really, really specific, hence the word specialize, but choosing something that you're going to be the go-to person for. If you want to support online entrepreneur woman, then that will be your specialty, and that is who all of your words, your LinkedIn profile will all talk to those people. And you want to become known as the VA for online women entrepreneurs or online course creators, because you know a tool like Kajabi really well and you can set up online courses on there. So you want to be the go-to person for something really specific. It's the best way to stand out from everyone else. And the way that we have built our reputation is by going to any little small event, course, workshop, meetup, and actually meeting people face to face and getting to know them. More and more you can do that in Facebook groups now, but I wouldn't want that to be your main focus in terms of where you're going to find leads if you're in a Western country. You want to get to know local people in your area, local businesses, and get into like groups and meetups and really build relationships with people, because they will become your best referrers, and people will start talking about you. But make it really, really specialized as to what services you provide, so that it's really clear in the person that you've built the relationship with, and clear in their head, so that they can then spot opportunities and say, hey, I know this really great VA who does this, because they can remember it, because they're not trying to remember 50 services that you provide. Make sense? So building relationships, getting known in your local area, and networking. I know everyone hates that word, but really, 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 it does work, and it has worked for me. If you're going to do online course like setup or online business entrepreneur type services, then absolutely you can find your clients online. So those clients are going to be in Facebook groups. The important thing about when you're in a Facebook group, and you would have seen this as a VA, you're in a group and someone's like, oh, I'm looking to hire a VA, and then 1,000 VAs who are also in the group will then say, hey, you should choose me, you should choose me, you should choose me. It's going to be pretty hard to get through and be the one that they actually choose in that situation. So you can waste a lot of time applying for those. What you want to try and do is be in those groups and add value. Never, never, never sell at all in those groups. Just add value, educate, teach people things, show people things, help people, direct people of like where to find things, and just be really, really helpful in those groups. And that will then have you start to be seen as like, oh, this person really knows their stuff in terms of whatever service you're providing. And so then people will approach you rather than you like trying to cut through 1,000 other people who have responded to the job opportunity post. So I'd highly recommend that. So go to the group where those people who are in your market, who are your target market, where they are hanging out. So I see people come into, say, this group here, the Savvy Virtual Assistants group, and then they're trying to pitch for work in here. And I'm like, this is not where, like, everyone in here is a VA. They're not trying to hire a VA. It doesn't make sense. So it's like people instinctively think that going into like a VA group because they're a VA is where they're going to find work, but it's actually not at all. You need to be in the groups of where your target audience are hanging out. So online course creators that use Kajabi, for example, you want to get into the official Kajabi group and in there help people with their Kajabi questions, and then you'll be seen as the go-to person for help, and people will then hire you as their VA. So see how that's completely different. You're in the Kajabi group, not in the VA group, trying to find business. So Western countries, local people in your country, the best clients, unless you're providing some sort of like online course or supporting online entrepreneurs or something like that, then obviously go online. But give. Don't try and sell, because that will turn people off completely. If you're in a non-Western country, wages are lower. That means that you'll be definitely wanting to try and find clients online. And it's a similar thing, like go into groups where you want to try and find your clients, and then don't try and sell, just give and support and help and offer assistance on people's questions and answer questions in there. So that's a much better way of finding clients. Resist that urge to just throw in your website and say, hey, is anyone looking for a VA, hire me? Like, that's not how you do it. So and there's plenty of sites online that you can go on. So in New Zealand, we've actually Samantha in New Zealand has created a VA directory, so the New Zealand VA directory. So I definitely recommend anyone who is in New Zealand to actually jump on and get themselves on that VA directory. That directory will start ranking really well because Sam's done something really smart where she has used virtual assistant in her URL. So that will start ranking high, and then anyone who's wanting to find a virtual assistant in New Zealand will jump on there and see and have a look at those virtual assistants in there. That's where it's really important to specialize the service that you're providing so that they're scanning through all of those people on the directory and they want something specific in terms of a service and they can see that person specializes in that. I guarantee they're going to choose that person. So make sure that you stand out in terms of what your specialty services are. So in other countries, there'll be VA directories, so jump on those so that you can get yourself visible in there, but there are other VA sites where you can find clients and work, such as like Upwork and things like that. But jump into those groups of where your target audience for your specialized service are going to be hanging out, and you can find them clients in there. And building an email list. So we have built our email list up a variety of ways. One is that we have our pricing guide is our most valuable asset on our website. That's what people want to know. How much is it going to cost? So what we did is we created an automation in MailChimp where someone puts their details in, they can then get, and I've got all the instructions in the Members Club on how to set this up. So someone puts their email address in saying, yes, I want to get the pricing guide, and then they automatically get sent the pricing guide and their email goes onto our mailing list. And then for the last 7 years, every single month, we have sent a monthly newsletter with our latest video. So we do online video marketing, essentially. So we do videos for LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube, all about virtual assistants. So though any new videos go into there, so it's like an education piece. We also have a tech tip. So again, we're educating and teaching people something valuable. We have a spotlight on one of our clients. We have introduce them to one of our team members, and then other like useful things that we've found. So we're not trying to sell in our newsletter. It's like, here's some information that will really help you. And that is definitely the best content to have in your newsletter. So the other ways that we've built up our email list is that we have 101 things to delegate on our website, because that's another thing. Like, people coming to our website are like, but what would I actually delegate? Like, what are the tasks that I could give a VA? So we have that full list in there in exchange for an email. Anytime we go to like a business expo, we always have a competition. So we have a stand there and we have a competition that collects email addresses so they go on. And any new clients, they go on. So we just build it up slowly over time. It's not massive, but it's high quality, and we get really good open rates because it is people who are actually interested in learning about virtual assistants. We're not just trying to, load thousands and thousands of emails on them unnecessarily. We're trying to get a really good list that people who are actually interested. So that's what we've done. So you would have noticed that I didn't mention social media so much in trying to get clients. If you are a social media management VA, so that's the service you're going to provide, then you need to have a really, really awesome social media presence. So obviously that's definitely where you can put time into. However, to be seen on social media, it's not easy and it's not a good use of time unless you're going to do something like video content and you're going to do it on LinkedIn and you're trying to get consistently increasing your connections on there. So that's where we focus our time, is on video content and putting that on LinkedIn. And it doesn't have to be hard. It's just a 1 minute just on your phone, looking at a light source like I am now, like out a window, and just talking about virtual assistants or answering people's questions. That's pretty much what we do online now. And yeah, that really, really works for us. So yeah, I hope that helps. Loving the questions coming through. Please keep asking questions. being a VA, having a VA team is something that I really, really love. And I'm super transparent and open. So if there's anything at all you want to know, just please let me know. So hashtag Ask Me Tuesday, so that we can see where the questions are amongst all the comments. And yeah, anyone who wants to jump onto the members club, honestly, it just fast tracks everything. You want to be super focused on getting that first client in and not spending hours and hours and hours doing a terms of engagement, getting a website, like all of these things that just are in the members club, and it shows you exactly what to do and how to do it. It will just fast track actually getting that revenue in. And I know that most people who become a VA want flexibility, control, and freedom. And jumping into the members club is giving you exactly that, so that you can spend your time finding those clients, not getting things sorted and set up and in the background. So I hope to see some more members come in. We've had a little flurry of members come in lately, so that's been awesome. And yeah, look forward to seeing you in there. And thanks so much for watching. Have a great Friday. I know that it might not be Friday and yet for you when you're watching this, but when you do watch this, yeah, I look forward to seeing you next Friday, and have a great weekend, everyone. All right, bye.